All right, today we're getting real about those times when life just feels heavy. We've all been there, and this isn't going to be some pep talk about just thinking positive. No, this is a first aid guide, a practical framework for rebuilding when you're under some serious pressure.
Here's a truth that hits home for absolutely everyone. That feeling, that knot in your stomach, that tightness in your chest when the pressure is on, it's universal. It doesn't matter who you are or where you are.
I mean, picture this. You could be a software engineer in Bangalore, staring down a massive deadline, a project just completely derailing,
or a truck driver out in Texas wrestling with fuel prices and impossible schedules.
Or a nurse in London carrying the weight of the world on her shoulders. See? When the money gets tight or the debt piles up, your body's alarm system doesn't check your LinkedIn profile. It just sounds the alarm.
So what's the difference between the people who collapse under that pressure and the ones who make it come back? It's not willpower, it's not just gritting your teeth, it's structure. It's having a system to fall back on when you feel like you've got nothing left. And that is exactly what we're going to build today.
Okay, so first things first, we got to figure out where you are right now. You can't plot a course to a new destination if you don't know your starting point, right? So let's find it.
and this is a moment for some real honesty, but absolutely no judgment. Just take a breath and ask yourself, where am I really? This isn't about making yourself feel worse, it's about clarity, because once you're clear, you can pick up the right tool for the job.
So this here is the crisis continuum. It's a simple way to map out that feeling of overwhelm. At level 5, you're in an acute crisis. We're talking pure survival mode, just trying to make it to the end of the day. Or maybe you're more at a level 3, a moderate struggle. You're getting by, but it's tough. The key thing here is that the tool you need at level 5 is very different from the one you need at level 3. So take a second, look at this, and just see where you land.
All right, now we get to maybe the most important tool we're going to talk about today. This is your 72-hour emergency reset. I want you to think of this like emotional first aid. It's the tourniquet you apply to stop the mental bleeding when things get really bad.
And here's why this is so crucial. You literally cannot think strategically when your nervous system is on fire. Your rational brain, the part that makes good long-term plans, it just goes offline. You're running on pure adrenaline. So the only goal here for these 72 hours is to bring that intensity down. That's it. Just calm things down so you can think again. And the plan itself is super simple. It's just 3 steps spread out over 72 hours. Step 1, we stabilize. Step 2, we create containment. And step 3, we get back in touch with reality. That's the whole sequence. Stabilize, contain, orient. So for that first step, immediate stabilization, we go back to the absolute basics. And I mean basic. First rule, stop making major decisions. Just for now. Then, breathe. That 4-2-8 breath, in for 4, hold for 2, out for 8, is a literal switch to calm your body down. Drink some water, eat something, anything simple, and reach out to just one safe person. That's your entire job for this phase.
Okay, next up is creating containment. This is all about lowering the noise from the outside world so you can have a little peace on the inside. So, cancel any non-essential stuff. You have permission. Tidy up one small physical space, just your immediate area. It's amazing what this does for your sense of control. And for the love of all that is holy, turn off the news. Unplug from social media. Your brain is begging for a break from the chaos.
And the final piece of the reset, reality orientation. This is where we ground ourselves. I want you to write down 3 things about your situation that are just objective facts. No emotion, just what is. Then, make a list of the resources you still have. Skills, people, anything. It's about reminding your brain that not everything is lost. And then, and this is the game changer, take one tiny, microscopic action to prove you're not helpless. Okay, so that's the 72-hour plan. But what about when panic hits you like a tidal wave right in the middle of a Tuesday? For that, we need a neurological hack, a way to reclaim control in the moment. Think about it like this. When panic hits, there are 2 roads you can go down. There's the panic cycle, which just spirals deeper and deeper into racing thoughts and fear. We all know that road. But there's another path, the action cycle. And the single most important moment is that fork in the road, right at the beginning. It's called interruption. You have to break the pattern before it takes hold. So here's the method. It's 4 simple steps. 1, recognize the signal. That feeling when your heart starts hammering, that's your cue. 2, interrupt. Do something to physically shock your system. Seriously, splash cold water on your face, hold an ice cube. It short-circuits the panic response. 3. Ground yourself. Use that 5-4-3-2-1 trick. Find 5 things you can see, 4 you can touch, 3 you can hear. You get it. It pulls your brain back into the present moment. And 4th, take 1 micro action.
And when I say micro, I mean micro. We are not trying to solve the problem that caused the panic. We're just trying to prove to our brain that we're still in charge. So drink a glass of water, make your bed, wash your face, tidy one little corner of your room. These tiny little wins are what break the spell of panic.
All right, so as we start to pull all this together, what's the big takeaway? It's that the way out of a heavy season isn't some giant heroic leap. It's about taking one small step, and then another.
And I really want this to sink in. This isn't about philosophy. It's not about finding the right inspirational quote on Instagram. This is a system. Because when you're exhausted and scared, you can't rely on motivation. You need a system you can just run.
Look, the goal isn't to climb the whole damn mountain today. You don't even have to look at the peak. The goal is to take a single, manageable step on the path right in front of your feet. That is where all your power is. That's how momentum starts.
So I want to leave you with this one question. What one micro action can you take right now? Not an hour, not tomorrow, right now. Can you take a deep breath, drink a glass of water, just stand up and stretch? Pick one, anyone, and just do it. Because that's your first step. That's how the rebuild begins.